On today's episode of Celebrity Undercover Boss, renowned stars disguise their famous faces and go undercover to find undiscovered talent.
I feel like dance and the dance studio is kind of my safe place, so I can go there and let anything out.
On this episode, we witness Ashley Graham going undercover to make dreams come true. Tune in to find out what she encounters in her undercover time.
We don't just measure everybody that comes in. Time is money.
So should I just leave?
That's how we do it.
Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
Ashley Graham is the first ever curved plus-size model on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and she's also a designer, body activist, and now she's become an author. When she was a girl, Ashley was told that she was never going to be on any covers, but now she's been on over 20. She's also had a successful lingerie line and a swimsuit collection with up to a size of 24, but in the beginning, it was not easy to achieve this. She's had agents leave her and telling her that she had to lose weight because of the beauty standards back at the time. And this made her very insecure as she kept telling herself you're ugly and you're not good enough and nothing good is ever gonna come of this. When she got into the modeling business, she got into a lot of no's, but finally got a yes, and it was from a smaller agency who took a chance for her and it paid off. She then got featured on the cover of Sports Illustrated, which put her on the map and changed her life. This also put a girl like her on the cover to solidify the fact that beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. Ashley really wants her legacy to be that anybody and everybody, no matter where they come from and no matter what they look like, to believe that they're good enough and they can have anything that they want. This is why she decided to go undercover, and during her journey, she will be looking for body activists and empower them. She'll be going undercover as Morgan Williams, a woman in her 40s who loves fashion and wonders if she can get into modeling. The people she is meeting will think that she's part of a documentary that takes an inside look at what it takes to break through in the cutthroat fashion industry. For her first undercover mission, she travels to Miami, Florida, and there she meets with Alexa for a calendar shoot. And Ashley is a little nervous to be going to an amateur shoot after 17 years, and Alexa is very confident and encourages the nervous Ashley.
You're gonna be a model today too! You're gonna be like, oh my goodness, I look so good. Okay. My heart's beating, feel it. Really? You've never done any kind of modeling? Never? You can rock it, I can rock it, anybody can rock it.
They then meet up with the photographer Stain, and Ashley was acting very nervous, so Alexa does the first photo shoot alone and invites her for the second one. Ashley then takes the stage, and to not reveal her identity, she acts very nervous and awkward in front of the camera. Alexa and Stain encourage her, and she gets her first amateur photo shoot in 17 years, but Stain then brings out a giant snake for her next shoot, which really freaks out Ashley, and she backs away.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a reptile girl. It said something.
Later, Alexa reveals that she didn't like herself when she was younger because of her figure, and she was also bullied at home and at school, which made her further hate herself. She's now become a body positive activist and model to be an inspiration to young people for them not to be ashamed and hate what they look like. She's also started an organization to help people like her, but doesn't have the funding to do a lot. The next day, Ashley drives to meet an aspiring model named Haley, who's invited her to a modeling agency. They meet up shortly after, and we see that there are only plus-size models there. They talk a little while waiting for the manager, and instantly hit it off. Haley also reveals that she was inspired by Ashley to be confident in herself and start modeling. The talent agent arrives shortly after and asks Ashley about her height and weight, and she then gets up to get a measuring tape, but the manager stops her and tells her that she doesn't need to do that because they're not looking for people that look like Ashley. Ashley then gets up and asks him directly why, and he tells her that she doesn't fit the profile and tells her to leave.
Time is money.
So should I just leave?
That's how we do it.
Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
She gets very angry, but calms herself so as to not reveal her true identity. Ashley and Haley then grab coffee and talk about the struggles of being a plus-size model. Haley says that she doesn't give up and keeps going, because if she does, the next generation will have to go through the same problems. Haley also reveals that she's an immigrant from Afghanistan who arrived in the country just when the 9/11 attack happened. This led to excessive bullying in her school, and she was even given the nickname Terry the Terrorist. She also reveals that her dad left them when she was young, and she got his number when she was 20, but when she finally called him, he asked her if she wanted money, and she said that she just wanted to talk, but he ended up just hanging up on her. After going through all of this, Haley developed a thick skin, and rejections don't affect her as much. Ashley was heartbroken hearing this story, but sees how strong she's become and admires that quality. Next, Ashley drives to a dance studio to meet with Lizzie, who went viral after posting a video of her dancing. Her cover for today is she needs to learn dancing for a job. She meets up with her and they get into a position to learn ballet, and for the next hour, we see Ashley trying to showcase what she learned. Lizzie notes that Ashley won't probably become a professional dancer, but is glad that she is doing it for fun and gain more confidence.
Like you're holding a basket. There you go. There you go.
You can do dance and you want to pursue it as a career, and then you can do dance and just want to do it for fun. Morgan kind of just seemed like she wanted just to try it for fun.
Lizzie herself was told that she would never become a dancer, but she ignored everyone and made her dream come true. Later on their break, Ashley learns that Lizzie lost her mother when she was only 5, and her father left her with her aunt, and she got bullied growing up, which for some time broke her confidence, but she got it back by dancing. She now plans to go to LA and teach dance. Finally, Ashley's undercover time has now come to an end, and she's set up a fashion walkout stage to reveal her true identity. She's invited Alexa, Haley, and Lizzie to the event, telling them that she's found a job for them. She then comes out to the stage and reveals her true identity by removing her disguise during a catwalk. Everyone was surprised and they all start cheering. She then invites Alexa for a private talk. She tells her that she was inspired by her activism work and thanks her for helping people, and she also tells her that she was impressed with her confidence on camera and offers her a photo shoot with a world-renowned photographer. She then tells her that she wants to help her start her non-profit and gives her $10,000 and another $10,000 to promote it. Alexa was tearful and thanks Ashley and tells her that she was the inspiration that got her to do modeling, and they share a big hug before parting ways. Next in was Lizzie and her aunt, and she tells her that she was inspired by her dancing and by her courage, and she tells her that she wants to help her and gives her $5,000 for her dance classes and another $5,000 for her trip. She then thanks Lizzie's aunt for raising this amazing girl and offers to pay for Lizzie's college tuition. Last in was Haley. She commends her for her strength, will, and all the things that she had to go through, and for still pushing forward and trying to change the industry. She then tells her that she got her a modeling contract with a big agency so she can be a part of a modeling campaign, and also tells her that she's gotten her a management director so she'll be able to plan out her career. She then tells her that she set up a photo shoot with her own team and that she'll be posting the picture on her social media while tagging her and all of her other 5 million followers. She then invites her to a full-figure fashion week and gives her $10,000 for her expenses. This was a dream come true for Haley and couldn't believe that she's going to spend fashion week with Ashley.
Someone always has to be there to give you a shot or give you a helping hand, and for her to be that person for me.
With her undercover time done, Ashley looks back at the time and notes that even people who didn't know who she was believed in her, which made her believe that beauty from the inside is even stronger. In the weeks since, with Ashley's help, Alexa's nonprofit group is officially up and thriving, and she's also excited to shoot her new portfolio and take her modeling to the next level. Lizzie already started her college fund, and she's been attending more dance conventions where she continues to be an inspiration to others. Haley had a great time modeling in her first national ad campaign and is busy planning her trip to New York for a full-figure fashion week. And this is how this episode of Celebrity Undercover Boss comes to an end. This exhilarating episode of Undercover Boss, the CEO of Fast Signs International, America's leading custom sign company, steps out of the boardroom and into the frontline trenches. As she immerses herself in the challenging field, she realizes that it's no piece of cake. Brace yourselves for an emotional turn of events that will leave both her and her employees astonished. Stay with us to find out how things unfold on this episode of Undercover Boss. Headquartered in Carlton, Texas, Fast Signs International is the industry leader in custom signs and graphic solutions, and with 530 locations worldwide, Fast Signs has an annual revenue of more than $300 million. And overseeing the 4,000 employees is president and CEO of the company, Catherine Monson. Fast Signs was founded by 2 men in Texas in 1985, and Catherine joined the company in 2009 in the depth of the recession and have led the company to success. Catherine was born in Washington, D.C. and moved to California when she was 3. She's the oldest of 4 siblings, and her mother was an alcoholic who didn't really treat her and her siblings very well and even got violent with them sometimes. Catherine recounts a day when her mother took a big glass and broke it on Catherine's forehead, and after a very big cut, she had to be rushed to the hospital. After that, things only got worse as the family went to court and got a restraining order, and their mother went to a public park and offed herself. Catherine has developed this fear of becoming her mother, so she decided not to have kids and focus on her career. She's become very successful in that and now leads this giant company. Catherine will be going undercover as Lois, a recently divorced rocker chick that has a really hard time keeping a job. Her employees will be told that she's a contestant on a reality TV show called Second Chances, where people try to earn a second chance at a new career. For her first job, she travels to St. Louis to work as a site surveyor, and there she meets the site manager, Jen. She takes her to their first place, and while they were measuring the location for the poster, Catherine gets distracted by a cat, and this really annoys Jen, but she avoids saying anything to her. On a drive to their next site, they start to have a conversation, and Catherine learns that Jen has been working there for 4 years. Jen also says that the marketing material of the company is very bad and that they should change it, and this was new insight for Catherine, who plans to improve it. They arrive at a local gym, and Jen lets Catherine take the lead, and this time Catherine does all the work well, and they manage to get the contract. After work, they drive to a bowling alley so Jen can teach Catherine how to bowl, and we see Catherine trying to bowl, but she misses every shot. For her next job, Catherine travels to Austin, Texas to work in the production area. She meets with Sheldon, a sign maker, and he takes her through the factory and shows her how to make a sign. She again tries to do her best to follow, but the physically demanding job was very difficult for her. She also becomes aware of how bad she performed on this job, and she says that she's glad she doesn't have a bunch of people like her working in the company. As they work, she learns that Sheldon has been working for the company for 13 years, and he gives her his thought on how to improve the company. Fast Signs, even though a big company, doesn't have a website people can order in, and that is making their competitors a more viable choice for the customers. Hearing Sheldon's thoughts, Catherine also takes his comments into consideration. The next day, Catherine flies to California and she will be working in installation, which might be the hardest job for her to do. She meets Gary and he makes an awkward joke about not expecting a woman to do this job, but she laughs it off and they move on. He shows her how to put a poster on the side of a car, and after helping with one poster, she was confident that she can do it. But as she tries to do it herself, as expected, she starts to mess up. Gary helps her after seeing her struggle, and they do the first job together. After they drive to a work site, they start their job together, but Gary steps away for a phone call, and Catherine then continues to do the job alone, and even though she was trying really hard, she still messes up the poster. Gary notes that he wouldn't hire her and recommends a desk job. During their break, Catherine learns a little more about Gary's personal life, and he tells her that he's a father of 3, and that he has to drive 2.5 hours from home to work. He also reveals that when he was a teenager, he used to be part of a gang, and that he used to sell drugs, but after getting arrested and seeing his mother disappointed by him, he decided to change his life for the better, and since then he's become a good father to his kids, and he gives back to his community and helps others not to fall into a bad life like he did. Catherine is inspired by his story and commends him for what he's accomplished, and Gary opens up more and tells her that he's getting evicted from his home so soon he might not even have a home.
I actually lost the house today.
You lost your house
We
today?
got evicted today.
Oh.
For her final job, Catherine travels to Phoenix, Arizona. She's meeting up with a franchisee to work on a door installation, and she meets up with the franchise owner, Scott. He takes her on a crane so they can install a sign on a high wall, and this scares Catherine a lot, but she agrees to do it. They go up the crane and start drilling holes for the signs, and Scott drills a couple of holes before giving the drill to Catherine. She follows the instructions and does well, but she gets tired pretty quick. And so Scott takes back the drill and finishes the job, and they hang the signs together, which was easy enough for Catherine to do. During their work, Catherine sees that Scott is a hard worker who puts out 10-hour working days. But she finds out that he had to learn all the skills that he had on his own, even though the company should have trained him. They then talk about his personal life, and he tells her about his adopted daughter. Catherine gets emotional as she recounts choosing not to have kids, and thinks that maybe it was a rash decision motivated by her fear of not becoming like her mom. After Scott, Catherine's undercover time comes to an end, and she's learned a lot about her own company and about herself. She can confidently say that she's seen the good and the bad, and she plans to fix some of the problems she's noticed to help alleviate some of the problems the company and her employees face every day. Catherine invites her employees to a private club to finally reveal her true identity to them. First in was Sheldon, who did not recognize her at first, but was pleasantly surprised. Catherine recounts her day working with him, and even though she messed up multiple times, Sheldon didn't really give up on her and he was a great teacher. She also thanks him for bringing up the idea of having a website and tells him that she's working on it, and she offers him to be one of the testers of the website, which he gracefully accepts. She then gives him $10,000 so he can have a vacation with his fiancée, and she also offers him $50,000 to help with his fiancée's medical bills, who'd suffered with cancer, and they end their meeting with a very big hug. And next in was Jen, and Catherine reminds Jen of her comments about the marketing strategy being bad and tells her that they've come up with a new strategy which she will be able to see. She then gives her $10,000 so she can have a great vacation with her husband and another $20,000 so she can chase her dreams. Next in was Scott, and she tells him that she had a great day working with him and that she appreciates his hard work. She also promises to start a training program so that every franchisee can learn how to do the job well. She then gives Scott $10,000 to put into his daughter's college fund and another $15,000 to spend on him and his family. Scott, teary-eyed, thanks Catherine for what she did for him and his family.
I think she's so...
Thank you. Thank you.
It's incredible.
Last in was Gary, and she tells him how inspiring his life was to her, and she tells him that she wants to give him the best opportunity possible to grow in his career, and she offers to bring him to their headquarters to train him so he can get a better job at the company. She then gives him $15,000 so he can help people in his community, and she also gives him a new car and another $50,000 so he and his family can afford a home. Gary breaks down crying and thanks her very much for her generosity.
Thank you, Jesus.
And after the very exciting encounter with her employees, Catherine has also learned something very valuable from them, and she goes to spend the night with her family. And this is how this very heartwarming episode of Undercover Boss comes to an end.